I'm creating this not to give you what you want, but to give you what you need.
Fikowski is a literal athletical genius. What's up, beasts? Today's video, we're going to look at Brent Fikowski, the creator of the Professor Project, and we're going to try and figure out how much of a beast this guy really is. So a little bit about Brent before we jump straight into it. Brent grew up in Lethbridge, Canada. Throughout his early childhood, he did a lot of fucking swimming. Like, this guy swam. He spent 4 months every year from the age of 6 to 18 swimming at the Lethbridge Summer Swim Club. I guess that's why he's so fucking goddamn good at swimming then. In his time there, Brent broke the 100-meter breaststroke record, and he still currently holds that record to this day. Fuck me, man. I literally struggled to get 50 meters across the pool without fucking drowning. Shit. What the fuck? Then Brent went into volleyball, where his team went 59-0, having a perfect season. Now Brent moved to Australia to continue his studies to become an accountant. In his time in Australia, he found CrossFit. So this is where Brent began CrossFit, at CrossFit Broadbeach in the Gold Coast. Now I've been to the CrossFit Broadbeach and it's a pretty sick gym. So Brent originally started CrossFit to get better at volleyball. He wanted to use the strength and fitness so that when he played volleyball, he'd have more capacity, more power, all that kind of stuff. Obviously it turned out that volleyball wasn't going to be the thing for Brent, where he transitioned into CrossFit after trying a couple of comps, winning Wadstock in 2012. Now Wadstock was this charity run comp that would span over 4 different events, and you have to try and come at least the highest rank in each event, and it was held in a different area around Queensland. I actually accidentally met Brent at the comp too, so it was kind of ironic, but I didn't really know it was him. I actually thought it was more, I was looking at Brendan Swan, tried to meet him, and Brent was just there at the time. So Brent decided in 2013 he would do the Open. He actually qualified for regionals in Australia in 2013 and finished about 7th overall, which is pretty damn good for your first year at fucking regionals, let alone your first full year at CrossFit. Next 3 years, as we know, with Brent was a roller coaster of emotions. For this guy, he competed at regionals 3 years in a row, where he only barely just didn't make the games. A couple of years it was by 1 or 2 points. Then finally in 2016, Brent came out, I guess, more prepared than he was the other years. He didn't have as many weaknesses as he originally did, and he fucking destroyed regionals. Ever since then, Brent has made the games. So 3 years in a row, Brent has made CrossFit Games. His worst finish is 4th, which is fucking awesome. So that's enough about Brent himself. Let's jump into his Instagram posts and just see how much of a beast this guy really is. So in this first post, it reminisces of his time in the event at the games this year called the 2-stroke pull, where he finished 2nd overall. Now this event was pretty fucking hard, but my question is, how long is that fucking rope he's pulling? Like, look at this thing. It's still coming. Like, I'm still waiting for him to get to the end. Did he surgically implant 2 ropes together, man? Like, fuck. The next post we're gonna have a look at is about the event at the games as well this year called Chaos. Now in this event, you can definitely see that Brent has no advantage whatsoever with these burpees to the 6-inch touch. I can see all of these athletes at an even playing field. No, this is really truly funny. This is probably one time at least out of every event that comes up in CrossFit where Brent actually gets a solid advantage just because he's actually that tall. It's kind of hilarious watching Matt jump double the height and put in double the effort, but what's more impressive for Matt's side of things is that he's actually keeping pace with Brent. I mean, of course, Brent's a bigger guy, but I mean, you're doing half the work, bro. Seriously. This next clip, Brent's doing some heavy dips. Now, Brent's a good guy because he's only dipping once. Most people tend to double dip, and that's not good courtesy. Now, I believe I counted 52.5 kilos on there. I think that's 2 5s. So he's moving a bit of fucking weight, especially with a 48 kilo kettlebell. That's fucking huge. He's moving some serious weight on these dips. All right, guys, this next clip, I'm gonna need a little bit of your help. So I find that there's 3 standout things about this clip. Number 1, that he has a plate on his stomach perfectly balanced while doing ring rows. Like, wouldn't you move it even just a slight bit? But no, he's got that stabilization with that ring row. He's really pulling it in without kind of moving his body in any particular way. So that plate is staying perfectly straight. Number 2, that he's so goddamn tall that he requires a 30-inch box just to get his feet far enough off the floor so he can properly perform ring rows. Or number 3, that Brent got 309 in Amanda. It's Amanda for sure. Number 3, of course. Let me know down in the comments which one that you think is going to be funnier. 1, 2, or 3. Now, one thing about the Professor is he tends to educate us more than anything, especially on his Instagram. And one thing that the Professor has provided that has actually benefited myself when it comes to training is his cue on assault bike. So Brent says, quote unquote, try to break the bike, is what I always say to psych myself for the assault bike sprints, when in reality, we all know that the assault bike actually fucking breaks you. So into this next clip, you guys might have seen this floating around on Instagram. It got quite popular in the trending page with Brent pushing his last interval on that rope. Now, what I want to see is the 2 most relatable things about this clip. Number 1, the look of pain. Now, I did this in my own rowing interval a couple of weeks ago, and I can 100% relate to how that guy's feeling right now. So, hashtag relatable. Number 2, his girlfriend. So look, if you watch in the background, he's yelling at him, which we can all clearly hear in this clip. However, she also goes behind him after and starts eating cereal. And you could say, for Brent, it's crunch time. So this next post, one thing that's quite rare on Brent's page is he doesn't post a lot of workouts. However, I did find one workout that I definitely found not only interesting, but quick. Things I like. I'm not a guy who lasts very long. So it's a part of his brute strength program. It's a 6-minute AMRAP, 1 legless rope climb, plus 25 foot or 8 meter handstand walk. Each round, add an extra legless rope climb. So let's give it a go. Now, just to wrap up the video in total, Brent himself is an absolute fucking beast, especially when it comes to what he posts on Instagram, but mainly it's his performances at the games that I find most impressive. The guy only just made it to regionals last year. He dominated his region, he dominated the games. Yes, he ended up coming 4th. 4th by a tied decision. That's still pretty fucking good, if you ask me. When it comes to CrossFit, Brent sets himself apart from other athletes, not with his athletical ability, but with his approach to training. What I find very interesting about Brent is just how methodical he can be with his workouts and how he times each round or each movement, how he gets it done is what's most impressive. Educated approach to training, competing, and just life in general is what sets himself apart from other athletes. And in my terms, that's what labels him an Instagram beast. See you next video, beasts.
Absolutely.